National Tour Finals staged at the very scenic Woodson Hall in Nottinghamshire. This is the last day of competition. European Cup Finals. There is the beautiful hall. We're here for the National Tour Finals. 2 days of competition. We had a recurve yesterday, and we will now be going on to the compound. And before we get that underway, we've got the barebow competition. We're straight to the finals for the gold medal matches of the barebow men and the barebow women. Temperature is it's a kind of chilly 11 degrees, but it will warm up as the day goes on. Hopefully we'll have less wind than we had yesterday. I'm Graham Bell. Joining me in the commentary box is Izzy Carpenter, who will be competing this afternoon. Izzy, welcome.
Thank you very much. You all right?
Yes, very good, very good. Looking forward to the day. We're going to start things off with barebow, but then going on to the compound competition. Your brother is competing in that. What can we expect from today's action?
Well, our compound lineup today, we have got the best of the best coming in. We've got champions from all over and World Cup medalists from this year, and some archers that have been doing this since the very first National Tour final. So we can expect some really world-class shooting here today.
Excellent, yes, and we're going to kick things off with the barebow competition. Just explain a little bit about barebow, because it's like taking the sport and cutting it right down, taking away all of the aids, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, the bare bones, it's almost like recurve, except we've got no sights, nothing like that. So it is pure instinct based. It's very much a growing sport at the moment, is barebow. They've just started including it into World Archery, so we can start getting some records for our barebows, and quite a few of the records that have been held at the moment since being introduced this year have been from UK GB athletes. So and some of them being juniors as well, so they're doing incredibly well, and it's really nice to see the sport coming into its own.
So we'll go straight to the final. We have 2 men and 2 women in the barebow competition. These are the top 2 ranked over the whole of the national tour, and this is the gold medal effectively for the season, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So the barebows got introduced this year so they could compete at our national tour. They had 12 spots available for them per national tour stage. And overall, they've been ranked, and it's the top 2 out of everyone that gets to come here. So it's a lot harder, you know, they've only got a couple of spots to fight for. So these gents and ladies have done really well to get here today.
And in the men's competition, it is Ralph Barwise against Wilco Van Cleef Bolton. So unlike the compound, which will happen later, this is in a set format, like the recurve yesterday.
So the archers all shoot 3 arrows each per end, and the winner of each end will earn 2 set points. If they draw, it's 1 set point each, and the first to 6 is the winner. So we've got target number 1 with Ralph Barwise shooting first.
So they're shooting over 50 metres.
So just to start there, we've got a low 8, nice and central, so wind's definitely calmed down from yesterday. And we just start the 9. Yeah, just missed it. I mean, as we can see, got a slight error there with the clicker. Only got 6 seconds left to see if he can get this arrow off.
Of course, if he gets timed out, he's going to get timed out.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But the good thing about the set system that we have here, that there is a slight advantage to what us compounds have to deal with, is that if something such as this happens and you do get a miss, once that set's done, it's done, and you can move on and refocus.
Well, if you watched yesterday's Patrick Houston in the first match, he opted not to shoot one of his arrows. He had to shoot a 10 in order to draw the set, but decided not to shoot it. and still went on to win the match and win the championship. So,
yeah.
you know,
I mean, these miscalculations, if we're in the moment, there's nerves involved, and sometimes, you know, you can forget or just miscalculate in your head. And he did say in his interview afterwards that's just what happened, and he made a slight mistake. But luckily, he's got experience on his side, so that didn't get to him at all, and he was able to just move on and then continue, and he was able to win. So in that scenario, he did really well to keep his cool.
Yeah, he was laughing about it later. It'll just be another thing that goes down on his kind of legendary status.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
So, yeah, so a little bit of a problem there for Ralph Barwise. Just not able to reload quickly enough there. It just goes to show that this is the issue, isn't it, with Barebow.
It is. I mean, as well, these guys, you know, except for the national tour is probably the first time that they've been able to compete at a higher level doing alternate shooting. So the first national tour stage that we had at Lilleshall, we had it set up as a final stage. So for some of these Barebows, I was talking to them afterwards, this was the first time they've ever shot alternate shooting. So except for that round, unless of course they didn't attend that one event, this might be the first time they've ever shot on stage. So it's a lot of pressure, and it's a brand new set of skills, especially shooting in 20 seconds as well, because usually we're so used to getting our 4 or sometimes 3 minutes, depending on the competition and New World Archery rules. So we're so used to being able to do that. But in this scenario, you know, every shot really does count.
5 for Barwise.
7.
So looking down the arrow there to aim, and gets the first 10.
Really lovely shot right there. 9.
So Van Cleef Bolton 1 point ahead.
I mean, these gents are really equally matched. Throughout all the stages this year, you've seen these two within the top 4 nearly every single event.
A good 9 there from Barwise to keep the pressure on.
Just out again.
Just out, but that will, if it is a 9, it'll win in the set. But it's going to be at least a draw.
Yeah, the judges will take a closer look at that one and see if we're...
I think the magnifying glass might well come out for that one. Yeah, so we can't judge that. So the score will either be 3-1 or 4-0. So it was the second arrow from Van Cleef Bolton. This is the one that they're looking at. What do you think?
I think it's out. It's really difficult to see from here, and we've not got the light shining on it so much. Oh, no, I think it might be up. I think he might have scored it a 9. He has as well.
So 4-0 the score. It's a big call, that. And it just goes to show that millimetres can make a difference in this sport.
It really can.
It's not even, it's like
it's less than
of a millimetre.
And it really does make the difference, because as we can see here, Wilco's now got that lead, and Ralph is really going to have to keep fighting if he wants to stay in the game.
Well, you can come back.
Of course, yeah, there is every possibility here. And I mean, we've seen it, just like yesterday, we've seen people come from trailing and overtake and then end up winning. So it is more than possible, and these artists are definitely capable of that.
Barwise will shoot first on target 1.
So Barwise needs a good start here in this third set. Not bad. Oh.
Lovely shot there.
Oh, no.
Got the same issue again.
Now look at the clock, 7 seconds on the clock.
Can be done. He just needs to really relax here and try not to
3,
overthink it too
2.
much.
No, timed out again. Same problem as
So
in the first set. And
yeah.
that is that, unfortunately.
This could be it now. I mean,
Well, it could be. It definitely is.
with how Wilco's shooting, I don't think. I mean, we always say in Archery, you know, every arrow counts, and it's not over until the last arrow is shot. But in a scenario like this, you know, 4-0 down.
Yeah. That's a shame. It's a shame for Ralph because, you know, he's shooting well. He was shooting well. Just those 2 errors.
I think quite possibly that first end really, I think it got to him. I think he thought about it a bit too much, which it's easy done. It's easy to get rattled by that. And like we've said before, these archers, you know, they've not had the opportunity to shoot on final stages before, so there's that extra added bit of nerve knowing that, you know, there's people at home watching, there's people in the stands watching, and it's a whole different kettle of fish here.
But you've got to say, Wilco Van Cleef Bolton finishing there with a 27. That's a good score.
That is a brilliant score. And, you know, as we've seen, Barebow arguably is a lot trickier in some aspects because of the fact that, you know, we've got no sight, we have no stabilisation. So they're a lot more open to the elements there.
Mm-hmm.
And they've done incredibly well to get this far. And he is now the first national champion for Barebow, which is an incredible achievement.
Excellent. So Wilco Van Cleef Bolton, who has been shooting for 27 years. From Dagenham, originally from the Netherlands. He is the tour winner. So we're going to move on to the Barebow Women's competition now. We've got Helen Brown and Kim Dougherty.
Next up, will be a competition gold medal match for the Barebow Women. Coming on the field to play are the judges and the line judge for this match. And we welcome the competitors to the field to play.
So the final of the women's Barebow national tour final in Nottingham.
And beating on target 1, Helen Brown. And on target 2, Kim Dougherty.
Helen Brown and Kim Dougherty both.
And our line judge for this match will be Izzy Carpenter.
I mean, what we've got here is we've got 2 women that likely shoot alongside each other quite often, and sometimes it's not always a good thing because we know exactly what to expect from our opponent. There's no element of surprise in there, and we know exactly what they're going to shoot like.
Both been shooting for 7 years.
Every set will be 3 arrows.
Both progressed it.
High score of those 3 arrows.
Seeing a pattern here.
Will be achieved set points inside of the 1 set point each. Helen Brown will shoot first on target 1.
So these 2 shot together at the first national tour stage in the final, on the final stage. So it's a bit of we've got a bit of a rematch here.
Seven. 9.
It's a nice arrow from Kim.
7.
1 point in it.
I think there might be a 7, but she needed an 8 with that last one.
So 23-22. Brown takes the set on that one.
Set for those two is 23-22. That's like Brown will take the first 2 set points. Or Dougherty winning by just 1 point of the set.
Kim's got a really good group going on there. She's all within the same area, so she just needs to shift that over a little bit, and she should be about right. It's always the first end jitters that get those out of the way, and everything, you can let yourself clear then and really focus on the shot. It's easy to get held up on the shot as well when there's nerves involved and you're not quite sure what to expect for the first time. It's really easy to just sit there on the shot and not let it move. It's just so important to clear your head and just go back to basics, go back to your shot process and keep the shot moving at all times.
The next set, Archery orders set points will shoot first.
Kim Dougherty will shoot first. If you look at the bow, they are allowed some weights. That's about the only thing they can add to the bow.
Yeah, so that'll where they've got the weights there is about where you'd put your long rod, and it just gives that extra bit of mass weight onto the bow. So there is something there for them to push against while they're shooting the shot. She puts in a 9, yeah.
Eight to draw. Seven.
That's 23-22 for Helen, so that's going to put her up another 2 set points, 4-0.
4-0.
Brown has taken the lead again with a 23.
So 4-0 to Helen Brown.
We could have another 6-0 finish here. And see if Kim can bring it back and get her foot in the door.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of the set system.
It is, yeah. The archers really have a chance to come back, and it does allow that slight margin of error, because sometimes, you know, like we saw yesterday, just because you win the sets, you might not necessarily have the overall accumulative higher score.
Yeah. Well, we definitely saw that in one of the men's recurve matches yesterday.
Yeah.
Can't remember exactly which one it was, but yeah, there was a good. I think 8 points ahead on cumulative score, but lost the match.
Yeah, so there are advantages and drawbacks to the set system. The advantages being that you can account for those little mistakes and still come back and win the match. Alternatively, you do get it where archers are successful with score, but unfortunately they'll might not even win. Just out of the bottom there for Kim.
Ooh.
She didn't look happy with that one.
No, that's going to open the door for Kim Dougherty now.
She really needs to take advantage right now of that area.
Oh, couldn't do that. That looks like a 9.
Yeah. Right, we're all square now. We essentially have a 1 arrow shoot off here.
Yep.
And that's a 7 for Kim.
So 9 to win the match, 6-0.
And it's a 7.
Yeah.
So Kim has opened the door back up.
Yeah, so the score goes to 5-1, 21 apiece on that set. They're going to have a little look at that, the 8 with the star, but it looks to me, as we can see on the target, we've got a couple of target monitors.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's close enough to the line to say that that's a 9. So I think it's going to be 5-1.
We can see there the judge hasn't gone in with a magnifying glass, they've scored it straight away, so I think we have got the low value there, which means that it is a tied set instead of 2 points for Kim. But it's fine, she's kept herself in the match, so it's just a case of building points up now.
Yeah, you can come back from 5-1.
We saw it yesterday, it can happen again, that's for sure.
I think Sarah Bettles came back from 5-1 down, and
she did, yeah. She had a really good match, and it just goes to show it really does make a difference. And mental game is so important, and it's so easy to sort of let yourself get set back. But it's overcoming that and really fighting for it and realizing that every arrow counts and that it is more than possible to come back from a deficit.
that's a good start.
She'll be happy with that one.
That's the first 10 we've seen in this women's final. Not bad. The pressure arrows are the first and the third, aren't they?
Yeah, it's obviously
well,
it does knock the score down. Yeah, I mean opening up is really important because it sets the tone and it really puts the pressure on the opponent. Now, as soon as Kim shot that 10, Helen will have been thinking about it.
Ooh.
And we've got one out wide.
It's called a 3.
It's definitely going to need a measure, I reckon. It's a close one. It's hard to tell when it's on the black line because you can't see the difference between the two scoring zones. So that's 22 in total for Kim. So no matter what Helen does here, she can't take the set. I mean, it was a nice finish.
Yeah, it's a exciting one, isn't it? When you shot that 3.
Yeah.
And you've effectively thrown the set away. It's good to get that 10, just to get...
yeah, just to get a bit of momentum going again, and obviously just to get that bit of confidence incited. Because, like you say, after a 3 like that, it's very easy to let it get to you. But she didn't. She came back. She realised that she's probably done the mental math and realised that she couldn't win or even draw. But it was important there just to keep the tone going because, Kim will go up first to shoot next, so she wants to realise that the last shot that she did was a good one.
Yeah, yeah. Only Patrick Houston would step away.
Only Patrick.
So are we going to see the shoot-off?
We could get another comeback here.
Yeah. The momentum is definitely with Kim Dougherty.
Yeah, she's definitely determined after. But sometimes you do need that little bit of a kick just to push it and to get that competitive side flowing again.
And the scores are confirmed by the judges on the target. So going to this last set with Helen Brown, 5 points, Dougherty with 3 points.
So final set.
That will determine either a win or going into a winner shoot-off.
Let's see if Kim can bring us to our first shoot-off of the day.
Yeah, needs a win. Brown needs a win or a draw.
It's a little bit shaking there, but you know the pressure's on now, and she definitely will feel that. Just out on the left there. And another one low.
Seven, it's still possible, just a 2-point lead for Brown. Dougherty needs to put some pressure on with a good final arrow now. And does
She
just
does.
that.
Wow, that was a brilliant finish. And it's an 8 to win for Helen. Let's see if she can do it. A little bit of movement. And she does it.
She's done it.
She got what she needed,
Yeah.
exactly what she needed.
Exactly what she needed. So tied the scores at 23 apiece and wins 6-4. So pressure right to the very end there.
You can see this means a lot, can't you?
Yeah.
It's the, you know, first Barebow champion. It's been really great to see these guys out today, sort of showcasing their sport and showing what they're capable of doing. And I think it'll be really good for next year as well. We'll probably get a lot more people wanting to enter the national tours, having seen some of their target mates competing here.
And as it grows, we'll move from 2 to 4 to...
Exactly, yeah, and at one point I can definitely see it being just like with our recurves and compounds, where we've got the top 8 in the country really fighting it out. And I think that progression will happen really naturally, and I can see it happening really soon. They're definitely capable, as we've seen today. These archers know what they're doing.
Yeah. So, a round of applause for the winner, Helen Brown. Close match in the end. Her club mate, Kim Dougherty, came back strong.
She really made her work for it.
Yeah.
Very close match with every set within 1 point or higher. Please stay tuned. We'll shortly have the medal award ceremony for our Barebow men and women. Champions of the Archery GB National Tour Final here the victory ceremony for the Barebow men.
Time now for the victory ceremony. We'll start off with the men's. Straight to the final.
Medals and checks will be presented by Andrew Stanford, Archery GB Board Director.
Andrew Stanford will be the presenter.
Silver medal representing Stafford Archers, Ralph Barwise.
Barwise taking the silver, a little bit disappointed with what happened in the final. A couple of technical issues really that saw him.
Yeah, he really struggled to sort of get the arrow loaded there each time, and it is really hard with the clock ticking down. But considering, you know, he kept going and he didn't let it get to him. But I think he knows deep down he's definitely capable of more.
Wilco Van Cleef Bolton takes the gold medal. And he wasn't distracted. He shot well. So the medal and the check.
Yeah, during the national tour stages this year, he's done really well as Wilco. He's out of the 3 events that he attended, he came second at all of them. So I believe one of them he did actually lose to Ralph. So it's he's done really well. So he'll be really happy with that first place after the silvers that he's had.
Yeah, he won the one that counted.
Exactly. Yeah, this is where it all comes down, and he did what he needed to do. He did brilliant.
Please welcome the victory ceremony for the Barebow Women.
So time for the Barebow Women victory ceremony.
Medals and checks will be presented by Andrew Stanford, Archery GB Board Director.
Andrew Stanford again will present the medals and the checks. Kim Dougherty getting the silver medal and almost produced the comeback. Forced it to the final arrow there.
She did. She really made clubmate Helen really work for it.
Needed the 8 to win. Got it.
She did just that. Helen seeded first coming into this event, and she's finished on top as well. So you can't ask much more than that.
So congratulations to our Barebow athletes. Big smiles all round from the club mates from the Bowmen of Pendle and Salisbury. So we're going to take a quick break while we move the podium and reset for the next competition that's going to be coming up. And we're going to get things going with the men's compound quarterfinals. We'll start just very shortly.
First 4 matches will be the quarterfinals. In those matches, the winner will go on to the semifinals, And the semifinals will determine who goes to the gold medal match and who goes to the bronze medal match. For these first 4 matches, the loser of each match will be eliminated from the competition.
Well, before we go to the compound men's quarterfinals, we're going to have an interview with the winners of the barebow contest. That's coming right up in just a few moments.
I'm Helen Brown from Bowman of Pendle and Samlesbury.
And I'm Kim Dougherty from Bowman of Pendle and Samlesbury also.
Oh, it was a close one. It was nerve-wracking, which is the first time we've done anything like this before, isn't it? Good that we were here together. Each set was very close.
Yeah, too close.
Which we always are.
Yeah.
So there was no thrashing of anybody, but yeah, very good fun and tough, I would say.
We trained together, so there was no surprises that it was that close.
Yeah.
And what does it mean to have Barebow in the national quarterfinals this year?
Oh, amazing. It's been such a great opportunity. We've had a reasonable turnout of barebows, and fingers crossed we will be invited again. We'll be rounding up the troops to make sure more people join us next year. Yeah, it's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's been great, and it's an honour for us to have got to this point and to be amongst the first barebows here. So long may it continue, hopefully.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was nerve-wracking. I don't think I've ever been as nervous before, but the shots felt pretty strong, and they went where they were going, surprisingly. So yeah, I think I was pretty happy with our shot.
What does it mean to you to have Barebow in the national quarterfinals this year?
It's amazing. I only picked it up in May this year, right at the right time, I think, because it's just starting to pick up a bit in speed. And it's fantastic to see the guys here shooting well as well, and winning medals.
And shooting on the stage, your first time shooting on the stage, how did it feel?
It was probably the most nervous bit about it. Never shot on a stage before. Shot on a normal arena before, but not a stage. Just being elevated, cameras around you and everything. It was a fun experience, but yeah, nerve-wracking.
So time now for the compound men's competition. We start with the quarterfinals. Adam Carpenter against Matthew Wong. Carl Richards against Adam Ravenscroft. Neil Bridgewater against Christopher White. Dylan Crowe versus Kai Thomas Prowse. And looking at that lineup there, Izzy, obviously the first name you know very well.
I do, yeah. It's always interesting seeing your brother going up and shoot, but we've been doing it for a lot of years now, the two of us, and it's a little nerve-wracking. I'll be honest, a little nerve-wracking watching him shoot, but I know he's capable of, and he's just like the rest of the Gent Series, he's an excellent shot, and it'll be really interesting to see what these guys can produce. And he's up against Matthew Wong. So originally we did have James Mason, who was in our top 8, and he was seeded in 3rd. Unfortunately, due to injury, he had to withdraw from the tournament, which means that we then move to our 9th ranked archer, which is Matthew. So he gets the opportunity to come along and try for a shot at the title.
The athletes will take the stage.
So Adam is your younger brother,
Yeah, that's right.
3 years younger.
Exactly 3.5 years to the day.
Adam Carpenter saluting the crowd, 20 years old, against the 21-year-old Matthew Wong from Lynx Archers.
So yeah, this will be Adam's won this tournament 2 years in a row now, 2 years consecutive. So he'll be coming into this quite confident, I believe, and he's been practicing a lot and shooting. So it'll be really nice to see. And for Matt, you know, this is his third finals, so he's no stranger to this stage.
So we're moving to compound. The scoring system is different. It's a cumulative score.
Yep, so we've got 5 ends of 3 arrows, so 15 arrows in total, so maximum score of 150. And Adam's on to a great start. That's a 10 just on the left there. And then for Matthew, both a little on the left-hand side there, so they'll adjust accordingly. We can see Matthew moving his sight there.
So they're shooting over a 50-meter distance. It's a shorter distance than
Yes.
the recurve.
Yeah, we have got a smaller face as well. So it's an 8 centimeter face, and then so that the outer 10 we can see there is worth the same, but the inner 10 there, the X, is probably the size of a golf ball maybe just slightly larger. So it's a really small target that we've got down there, and it's quite hard to see through the scope. So it is a game of accuracy with compound archery, and it really is a game of not dropping points rather than trying to score 10s.
Yeah. So 29 to 28 in that first end.
You know, these two archers are really used to shooting against one another. They're within the same category, and they shot together as juniors as well. They've been on the same team. They've shot against each other, so they really know what each other is capable of.
Just looking at some of the replays here. Adam seems to have started comfortably.
Yeah, he looks quite relaxed going into this, and yeah, he's he's no stranger to the finals field. I mean, this year he was at the World Cup in Paris alongside Ella Gibson. The two of them they got the bronze medal in the mixed team event, and that was a really impressive stage, really good venue. So yeah, he's had the opportunity to shoot a few final stages this year, which is really nice. But when it comes to head-to-heads, these two are very equally matched. I mean, they both have a PB of 149 out of 150. So they are capable of the best. Matt's trailing, therefore he will shoot first and target number 2. Both of these gents have got quite explosive shots, really reactive shots. So there is a lot of movement going into that back, and we can see just here at the point of execution, it goes all the way back, and they're not static at all. There's always a lot of power going straight through the bow and right back into the backhand.
So once they release,
yeah, there's that extra bit of. I mean, we've got. You can just see in the image here, there is 3 sets of strings. So there's the 2 cables, which for Adam here are those 2 sort of yellow-coloured ones, and they are what wrap around the cans and give us that extra bit of power that gets funneled straight through the bow, and the speed as well. So these arrows are going significantly faster than some of the recurves that we've seen yesterday.
yeah, the trajectory is much flatter, and the speed is greater.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it means that on a whole, compound archery is a lot more accurate for that reason. But it does give us the disadvantage of that tiny bit of movement really does affect the arrow. So it's perfection or nothing with compound. Groups are sort of spread out a little bit there. You can see the flags moving in the background. So we do have that with compound because we have a let off on the cam system. So this could vary between 65–75% let off. So the poundage that these gents are pulling, which is a maximum, they're allowed 60 pounds. So they could be pulling 60 pounds, but as soon as they get over the cams, that let off then sets in, and they could be holding anything between like 17–20 pounds.
So it eases off once you've gone over the cam. So
exactly.
It's hard to pull, and then it eases off as you get to the.
It does. So then when you're sat on the back wall making the shot, you've got to keep the pressure there. And because there's less weight there, unlike the recurve, so they're holding the full amount of poundage on their fingers. And it increases with recurve as you pull it back. It just gets heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. Yes, exactly. But, with the compound here, as soon as we get to that let off and we get to that low poundage at full draw, there's less to pull into. We've got less weight to pull into, and therefore we're easily manipulated by environmental factors. So with wind like that, it feels a lot lighter at full draw, therefore it's very hard to fight against. Yeah. So we do rely heavily on our stabilisation and getting that as perfect as we can to give us that extra bit of mass weight when we get to full draw. So Matthew Wong, trailing 54–57. Opened with a nice 10 there, just to get back into the rhythm of things. Just low of the X there for Adam. Ooh, was not happy with that shot, yeah. First one out of the gold there. Yeah, there was the shot just looked like it was lagging a little bit. Didn't have the pressure on that backhand that we were just talking about. So Adam really just needs to reset and come back to it and really commit to the shot that he knows how to do. Still a little bit low on a general rule of thumb there for Adam. And always the grouping seems to be a little bit left as well, doesn't it? Yeah, we can see for both archers there's sort of the general grouping we've got. If you look at the holes in the face there, especially for Adam, they're slightly more left of centre. But that could be wind. But at the moment we're looking a little. It's a little more still. So quite often that could be a case of if we're putting too much pressure on the front hand and overextending. If we push forward naturally as a right-handed archer, that front left hand is going to sort of kick off to the left-hand side. So if there's not enough pressure on the back and too much on the front, we can sometimes see that left variation. But yeah, so it's just a case of finding their feet in this first few ends. With compound, we always say that the fourth end is the most important one. Because there's only 3 hours left, so wherever you stand in that fourth end, it really does make a difference. You do see people come back, from maybe a 1 or 2 point deficit. Yeah. But if you hit 3 points, it gets a lot more difficult then. Yeah. So at the moment, we've got Matt only 1 point behind. Yeah. With 2 ends to go. So a lot can happen within these final 6 hours.
We'll get you first on target 2.
Yeah, we've got a few that are sort of edging around the lower outer portion of the 9 there for Matt. So whether he's just sort of putting a bit too much on that front arm and just dropping them. Low again for Adam. Didn't look too happy with that one. I think that might be in. They've called it a 9, yep. Yeah. Just saved it.
Beautiful 10.
There we go.
10x.
Nice recovery. sometimes, you know, when you've got that lead, even with just like a 1 point or a 2 point lead, it is difficult because you know you've got that edge, and it's keeping the edge and not letting yourself relax too much.
Yeah.
Just because you've got that lead, it can quite easily be taken away. So it's not relaxing too much on it and actually keep fighting for every arrow. Another one low there. But he stays within...
and extends the lead,
Yeah, another point on his lead, so that's 112, 110 to Adam. I know he'll not be happy with the score, but sometimes with head-to-heads, it's not always down to score, it's down to your opponent and doing what you need to do to beat that person. And shooting your own game as well, it's very easy to sort of match your opponent. You sometimes see that in a lot of head-to-heads where somebody doesn't shoot what they're capable of and they do what is necessary to match their opponent rather than shoot shoot their best. Yeah. So we've got one end left, so 3 arrows per archer. And we'll see if Adam can keep hold of this 2 point lead or extend it further, or quite possibly Matt could come back and let's see if he can throw down the first 30 of the day.
Alternate, having 20 seconds each to shoot their arrows. 91 will shoot first on target 2.
Matt to shoot first again on target number 2.
So crunch time, final end.
It's a nice start. It's not what he needs. Ideally, that 10 would have been nice to open up, put the pressure on. There's a little bit of wind coming through onto the stage there. See if Adam can fight against it. And he's just kept it in the 9 there. Yeah. You could see that just rippling his shirt there. It was straight onto the bow, and just like we said before, we have got we're a lot more open to those elements. It's a nice X from Matt. That's a 10 low.
So still the 2 point lead. Wong needs a 10 here, really. Gets
And he
it.
does, yeah. 2 X's. Really nice finish there for Matt.
So 9 to win.
It's 9 to win for Adam.
He should do this, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to look. Oh, and he does. Okay.
I could see you getting really nervous there.
I did. I warned you. It's so much. Give me the bow any day. It's just so much easier. So that's 140 points, 139 to Adam for the win. Yeah, he'll still not be impressed with the score. He's. I think with these gents especially, with what they know that they have to produce to be competitive in this category, the standard is so high and they know what they need to do. So they are very critical of themselves and very competitive. So he'll be wanting to improve on that 140 in the next round.
A win is a win.
It is, exactly, and he did exactly what I needed to do to win.
So now we will see who Adam will meet in the next round. So coming up next, we've got Carl Richards up against Adam Ravenscroft.
So in this next round, Adam Ravenscroft is probably one of the most experienced archers in terms of national tour final appearances that we've got. He's been to 11 out of 14, which is an incredible achievement, and he's been there since day one. So he is no stranger to this finals field, and he'll feel right at home. Shooting alongside Adam, we'll have Carl Richards. Also, he's from Meriden Archery Club and has been shooting for 10 years. Going into this competition, he seeded in 6th place to Adam's 5th, so very equally matched here, these two gents. And it'll be really interesting to see what they can come and produce here today.
Now taking the stage, approaches the line judge for next match. Now we welcome the athletes to the stage for the next quarterfinal.
So the second of the quarterfinals here at the National Tour Final in Nottingham. We have Adam Ravenscroft, Ravo as he's known, 40 years old, up against Carl Richards, who is 39. So we've gone from the youth of the first
to the experience, yes. Yeah, so we've got Ravo and then Carl, but you know, everyone calls him Chad. So we've got these two guys against each other. They've been shooting alongside each other for a long, long time. So they'll feel right at home next to each other. But yeah, it's we've gone, like you say, straight from the youth to experience. Got the two MyBow shooters here today, both on the Revolution 40. So one way or the other, MyBow's getting through to the semi-finals.
Yeah. So Ravo's from the Foxes Archery Club. It's hometown in Leicester. And Carl Richards from Grendon North in Warwickshire, part of the Meriden Archery Club.
Got Carl shooting first. And it's in 8 wide. Ten to open for Ravo. He'll be happy with that one. Got a little bit of wind coming through the stage here. Let's see if Carl can fight against it. Manages to keep it in the 9, but he's still hanging a little low there with both his arrows.
So at what point do you then make a sight adjustment? I think he is actually making
He's making one straight away. I mean, at this point, for him, definitely, because he's got 2 within the same area, it's consistent. But, you know, you can adjust after the first one. It purely depends on if you know, was this a good shot? You've got to ask yourself the honest question and be completely truthful with yourself. If you knew it was a strong shot and it didn't go where you thought it was going to go, adjust straight away, because like you've said before, it's a game of millimeters and every single point counts. You don't want to miss out on a possible 10 just because you didn't adjust quick enough and react to your shot. It was an 8 out for Ravo. Didn't look happy with that one.
No, so that was a case of you know, a poor shot rather than because he knew the first 2 were good.
Yeah, they were. So he knows he knows he's dialed in. He knows that he's in the 10 there. So that last shot was personal error, but you can tell he's just talking to Coach Simon there, sort of referencing his trigger hand. So he clearly wasn't happy about something on the back end of the shot.
At least if you know what you've done wrong.
Yeah, 100%. It's half the battle is knowing what you've done, because then what's worse is when you shoot some shots that feel great and they're not going in the 10 and you think, what on earth am I doing? But if you come off the line and go, yeah, hold my hands up, I know exactly what I did there, it's a lot easier to rectify that mistake, because you can do what you need to do to get back in the middle. But you know, that 8 from Ravo was sort of giving Chad that little bit of leeway there, because he's dropped down to 26, but that 8 from Adam has sort of made his deficit a little less, so he's still got some room to come back from that 1 point trailing. He did look in the last end to just sort of be holding on a little bit too long, so whether or not he was waiting for the wind to subside or not, I'm not sure. Yeah, much quicker shot. Yeah. A lot more power, a lot more confident, and then the timing was right where he wanted it. Yeah, and the next to match. This is one bit I love about compound archery, is where you get literally where the opponent they just keep matching each other, arrow for arrow, score for score, and it's almost exact, even the same direction and everything. It's just so freaky how it all funnels in, and they both end up shooting the same. Just low there. He dropped it just as the shot went off.
Going to see a perfect 30.
We are. That's a brilliant comeback. So he's really made up for that first 26 end there. Revo needs a 10 here to stay equal. And he does it.
Didn't look happy with it.
No, it was a little bit on the low side, but his aim must have been there. His aim must have been there to keep it. So there is that little bit of wiggle room, you know, even if you feel like you're lagging on the backhand. As long as that aim is okay, you can save it from being worse than it might have been. So we're all tied on 56 apiece. It's a really good comeback from Carl there.
Well, you can't get any better than a perfect 30, can you?
No, definitely not. I mean, we've got two gents here that have competed with GB for a long time, so they are capable of some really fantastic shooting and some good competition, which is exactly what we're getting here today.
So back in 2015, Adam Ravenscroft won the bronze medal in the World Championships.
Yeah, he did. Adam's highly decorated. You know, he's done a lot within his time, and he's one of the 3 team members that attended the most previous Commonwealth Games that Archery was included in. So he's got that to his tool belt of achievements, and it's something that not many compound archers can say, because, you know, it's not the sort of sport that gets that much appreciation within the Commonwealth. So to be able to be a part of that for him must have been an incredible experience. Adam needs 10 here to keep on Carl's heels. And he does just that, matching each other arrow for arrow.
Bit of wind there.
Yeah, steady breeze coming through. See a tiny bit of movement, but
yeah,
he's
long hold, isn't it?
yeah, he's got the time. He just holds it in. Yep. Now this is where Adam can really take advantage of that shot. If he shoots a 10 here, it's going to be a 4-point lead. And an 8.
An 8, okay.
So it saved Carl a little bit there. Only
Yeah.
2 points in it instead.
Yeah.
So
4-point lead would have been, yeah, significant.
a 4-point lead would have been difficult. It would have been difficult with only 2 ends left to go. But 2 points is much better, so I think Carl will be sign with relief there.
Yes.
It, you know, of every outcome that could have happened, I think that was a pretty decent one for him. But yeah, you can see on that arrow of Carl's that the wind came straight through, and he was holding for like a good 15 seconds. It's a long time at full draw, and at that point the shot begins to derail a little bit. And you can sort of see with the markings on the arrow and the holes there, it was definitely caught, and he managed to keep it in the scoring zone. At one point, you never know, he could, with compound, quite often with wind like that, at some point you're not always aiming on the face.
Yeah.
There's that much movement and error for margin that he did well to keep that one in there. That's the thing with 20-second shooting, we haven't got that opportunity to come down and try again.
Yeah.
And it's a case of that one shot or nothing. (83 to 81 to Adam. Carl shoot first. So let's see if he can reset after that shot. Still a little on the left there. You can see he tried to save it a little with the bow hand, just sort of flicking it over to the right. left for Ravo as well, so there's a little bit of a consistency thing here. So it could be a case of the direction of the wind. And another one there. He's tried to steer it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't look happy. Good group from Ravo, just slightly left of where he wants it.
Yeah.
Again, another one that he just tried to save at the last moment.
Yeah, he's not happy at all. He's not happy, and Ravenscroft is just
he's
staying
plugging away.
consistent. Staying consistent. There we go, 10.
Yeah, just that's where we wanted that group. Just that little bit to the right. Managed to get that last one in the 10 there, just to gain another few points on Carl. So 6 points ahead.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but this looks like a done deal to me.
Yeah, no way back.
Yep. It's like we said before, that fourth end is pivotal. And so 6 points going into the final end is extremely comfortable.
Yeah. And having shot that perfect 30 as well.
I know,
second end.
Yeah, so he came back from 26 in the first end that we saw, shot the 30. But it just goes to show that every end matters, and these environmental factors that we've got going on, they change so quickly. So there's one gust that could affect you, but then the minute that your opponent steps up to the line, it's suddenly gone for them, and you can't call it, unfortunately.
No. So pressure very much off for Ravo there.
Yeah, nothing special here. Just needs to throw in some 3 decent shots, and he's fine, you know. He can really relax now. There'll be absolutely no pressure on him, and he can just shoot 3 shots. And the same for Carl, to be honest. You know, he knows where he stands, and all he can do now is just shoot 3 shots that he's happy with.
Try and finish on a high.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, we've still got that bit of left movement there in the front bow hand from Carl. It's like the arrow's not quite where he wants it to be as soon as the shot's finished, so he's just trying to adjust. Very, very easy 10 for Ravo. You know, that looked very comfortable. Carl's got a wasp flying around his hand. Oh my god, I've had that happen before. It's not nice.
No.
I've had it where it's landed in my scope.
Oh,
and
really?
it's been just sat there looking at me. And I'm like, focus on the target, don't focus on the wasp. Tad low for Ravo, but you know, he's still he's in that gold. He's comfortable, yeah. Just out the 10 there for Carl's last arrow. And it's a scoring arrow to win for Ravo.
Yeah, 5 to win. And does it with a 10?
I think so, yeah. Looks like it's just nicked the edge there.
Well, it's a 9 star, but I think it's cutting that line.
It looks in to me. But yeah, they'll there's a star on one of
Carl's. That's Carl's starred. So yeah, 140 scored, which is the same as Adam.
Yeah, so I mean, we can see this everyone's sort of on the same level here at the moment. So you know, there's definitely everybody's on a level playing field. So there's probably that element of wind that we were talking about that's affecting a few people.
Yeah.
But we can see that it's sort of affecting all, and it's not too drastic yet. So we're all right for the time being.
Yeah.
So Adam will be moving on to the semi-finals for a chance at the to make it to the gold. See what he can come back with.
Yeah, the 2 Adams.
2 Adams. It gets really confusing on team trips. This is why we go with nicknames.
Your brother, does he have a nickname?
Carpo.
Carpo,
yeah. Carpo, Ravo.
Carpo and Ravo.
Although they get confused because I just say Adam for my brother,
right.
you know, so they both turn around. I'm like, no, other one.
So do you find that archery is a family sport?
100%. Yeah, I mean, all of my family shoot, and it's really great because you get that element of it that's that nice competitiveness. Where it's not too much, but it's a comfortable amount of competitiveness, and it's something that everyone can get involved in, and it's one of the very few sports I find is so inclusive. It doesn't matter disability, age, gender, nothing like that, and it's probably one of the most inclusive sports. We've got, as we've seen, we've got some youngsters on 20 and under, and then we've got some archers 40 plus who have been doing it for years, and talent is not at all affected by age.
Yeah. And talking of age, Neil Bridgewater, 54 years of age, the oldest in this competition.
And he's been shooting for 42 years. He's been doing this sport for a long time. He knows what he's doing, and he's very comfortable behind the bow. His opponent, Chris White, he's 37 years shooting as well. He's been shooting as long as anyone can remember. A very talented field archer as well is Chris. So it'll be really great to see these two come head to head.
So Chris White from Long Buckby, left-hander. And so they are facing each other.
Yes. It's always a little strange to look over and see someone looking back at you. But yeah, we've got another left-handed in the girls' portion later on. That's Layla Anderson. So the amount of times that we've stood looking at each other in a match is...
You could be back-to-back, though.
You could also be back-to-back, yeah. So sometimes that's even a little more nerving. Can't see what they're doing. So that's an 8 to open for Neil. He didn't look too happy talking back to his coach there, to James. It's a 9 low for Chris to start.
Long, hold.
Just caught the line on the left there. And that's an 8 for Neil.
Yeah, so 2 8s in that similar low right.
And an 8 for Chris as well. So at the moment we're all square. We'll see if there's any. I'm pretty sure that we haven't got any liners there. But you can see on the target face here, we've got Chris who's shooting a thicker diameter arrow, which are more associated with indoor archery. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting choice. It's not something that we usually go for the thinner, faster arrows for outdoor archery. The larger arrows we use with indoors because we're not so bothered about speed with it being indoor archery. It's a shorter distance. There aren't any environmental factors. So we go for the thicker arrows to try and get that those extra liners.
Yeah, just to give you a little bit more diameter so that you can cut the line.
Exactly, yeah.
You can see them getting pulled out now. They are.
The holes that are left into the face there, you can see are they're a lot fatter than those that are on Neil's target. So it can be an advantage in some cases, It's an interesting choice from Chris, but you can always expect to be surprised with him coming onto the shooting field. Yeah, we can see James Mason there in the box for Neil. So he got to be on the final stage. Unfortunately, not with a bow, but he still gets to support his friends there, which is really nice. So all tied, Neil's shooting first. Let's see if he can find the 10. A little long on the hold. And it's in. Nice shot.
First 10 of this match. Yeah, you can see the diameter of the arrow then.
Yeah, they're a lot thicker. I'm not quite sure what size they are from here, but it's kind of unorthodox for outdoor archery to be using the fat arrows, as we like to call them. Although it's helping him,
Well,
that might have just got that 10 line.
That definitely helped, having the fatter arrow there.
Yeah, so he's compromised on a little bit of speed there, but you know he caught the line with that one, so it has made the difference in this case.
Shot clock going into the red there.
Yeah, he didn't look happy with that shot. Definitely dropped the front arm at the point of execution. And lovely X.
Yeah. Perfect 30.
And that's gained him a 3-point lead within that one end.
30, a little bit too close, we're hoping he'll take advantage of those fat traps catching the line. Still 300 for the 10-9, lead to 27 points. Looks like Chris White may take a 3-point lead after 6 areas.
You know, Chris is one of these household names within the UK. You know, you go abroad and people recognise him from his field achievements all the time. You know, it's from, you know, some of the big stuff that he's done, especially within his youth as a field archer. You know, people remember, and he's really well known for those achievements.
Yeah, won a silver in 2014 at the World Championships in field archery. European Championship silver in the team. He's won a bronze indoor championships back in 2012 at the World Championships.
Yeah, he's highly decorated archer within this sport, and he's just been a constant figure within compound archery. And I believe he was on the team with Barebow for the recent Commonwealths that we attended.
So archery was part of the Commonwealth Games. It was also part of the World Games.
Yes.
So both Birmingham's.
Yeah, both Birmingham's. Yeah.
Birmingham,
so
Alabama, and
yeah.
Birmingham.
Yes. So it's really nice to have seen some of our GB athletes representing over there, and making a name for archery as a sport. You know, we sometimes don't get the same sort of publicity as the other sports. We're in a way a minority. So it's really great to see these athletes coming out and representing for us. It's a quick shot from Neil.
Still getting in the gold.
Yep, just keeping it in there. So it's 26 in total. Chris needs a 9 to equal, or a 10 to gain another point. And an 8.
Nope. So
25.
26, 25, yeah.
So Neil's managed to claw back a point. So there is only 2 points separating them now with 2 ends to go. So
yeah, it's all to play for.
It is, exactly, yeah. We've got 6 more hours each. A lot can happen, as we've seen.
Yeah, but as we went into the penultimate end of the last 2, it's the leader that went through to win. So.
Yes, yeah, it was. I mean, personally, I've shot a lot of matches this year where going into the last end I was 1 point behind and managed to win. So it is possible. We know 1, maybe 2 points with the last 3 hours. But the thing is, there's only so much that you can do on your own. You know, you can only shoot 30. You can't control what the other archer does. So you can only put down your best arrows and then pray that they drop a couple out.
So we're talking about compound, and it's the fact that you were Commonwealth Games, World Games, potential for Olympic Games. Obviously not in Paris, but for LA.
LA, yes, that's right, 2028. So they put in a bid this year and put together a document to sort of put in a request, and it is down to the host country.
Well, the host nation has an option of adding medals or sports.
That's right, yeah.
Into the program.
Yeah, so they are the ones that really it comes down to them as to whether they introduce a new discipline. But compound archery is absolutely massive in the States, especially they use compound mainly for hunting, but their target and field and 3D for compound is highly popular.
Ooh, a little bit of a wayward 8 there. to get things underway in this fourth end. Yeah, so Las Vegas, obviously the big stop.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people here that'll be really wanting to get their teeth into that if it does come across, if it does the opportunity arises.
And they're talking about having it indoors.
Yeah, so it'll be 18 metres on a 3-spot face, and I think it's a case of trying to make it as different from recurve archery as they can. It makes it easier to digest for the public, so they can there's a difference there. Right, so Chris's arrow just came off the rest, which he managed to. He used his teeth actually on his fletching to bring it back.
Yeah, that was
See,
unusual.
ordinarily you would see someone use their bow hand pointer finger to sort of lift it back up.
Lift it back up, yeah.
But I didn't quite see the end of his rest there, but he might not have had that much hanging off the end to be able to do that with. So we should be able to get a look here in a minute when he draws back. Yes, you can see there is barely anything hanging off the end of that rest, which means that he didn't have much of an option. So teeth it is.
Yeah.
And that's just an 8 there.
Yeah.
So we've got a staff. Oh no, that's an error.
No, that's 10.
That's definitely a 10.
28 to 25. 1 point in it going into the final end.
So Neil brought it back.
Yeah.
Everything's still to play for Neil here, and he can come back and win this.
Well, after scoring that perfect 30 in the second end, Chris has had 2 25s.
Yeah, they can see there was a little bit of wind going in there, and obviously we saw his arrow come off the rest. Whether that got to him or not, I mean, it's highly unlikely. I mean, Chris is very experienced, so that's not the sort of thing that would rattle him. So it could just be a case of the shot's just not where he wants it. Bit of wind, bit of nerves maybe. It can all sort of come together and affect that shot. But like we said with compound, there is such a small margin for error, and you really, really do have to work for every shot. So yeah, you never know, we could be seeing some of these gents and ladies that are competing today, you know. If we're lucky, fingers crossed, 2028 Olympics. So we haven't been given a date as to when we will find out if or when we get in, but hopefully within a year.
At 54, I'm not sure if Neil Bridgewater will be there.
Well, I mean, we've seen some
some
really talented archers from all ages competing at the Olympics, so you never know. That's a 10 on the left for Chris to open this final end.
Good start.
Yeah, putting that pressure on for Neil. He knows he needs a 30 here. And an 8 wide. So he's opened the door here for Chris to make things a little more comfortable for him.
Oh, look at that.
Really nice shot.
Yeah.
So Neil really needs 2 10s to finish this match off if he wants to be in a chance, and just hope that Chris drops his last arrow into the 9. Got a bit of a gust coming through. 5 seconds on the clock. Manages to keep it in the 9.
Yeah.
I think that was well done there. That looked quite tricky, that.
Under pressure.
Chris looking very cool here. Very relaxed. Yeah,
Oh,
10
what a
to
way to
finish.
finish.
Look at the group on that one. Yeah, lovely. A 136 to finish. He'll not be happy with the score at all. And a nice 10 for Neil just to cap off the match.
So 136. Blaze 134. Yeah, perfect 30 to finish.
Neil just missed out on his opportunity there, but he really did make Chris work for it. It was a match that kept going back and forth between the 2 archers, and up until the last end, it was anyone's game, really.
Confirmation, Chris White is the winner, and he will progress through to the semi-finals and will meet the winner of the next and final quarter-final match.
Chris will be wanting to come back to better his position from last year. He finished in 3rd, I believe. So he'll be wanting to go the whole way this time round. So for this next match, we'll go back to the youth again.
Yep, so we've got the 22-year-old Kai Thomas Prowse up against the 20-year-old Dylan Crowe.
Yeah, so Kai's one of our GB athletes. He competed at the Antalya World Cup in the beginning of the season this year. They did really well as a team, coming in 4th, just losing out to the Netherlands for that bronze medal in the team round. So he's had a good amount of practice this year, competing on the stage. As had Dylan, he's this year for the first time, I believe, he's made the GB youth squad in Telford. He competed there. So this is his first tour final as well. So it's been a good year for Dylan. And this is Kai's 2nd tour final. So yeah, very equally matched here. So it'll be really interesting to see what these two guys can produce.
Introduced to the crowd.
So
There's
Kai
actually a
shoot
stand
first.
behind the shooting platform as well as to the side.
I mean, it's really nice. This is the sort of thing that we would see on an international stage. You know, you're getting stands all, you know, 2 sides here. You know, you might get all 3 sides abroad. So it's really adding on to that extra bit of pressure. So not only have we got the cameras but we've also got that crowd coming in. And
Oh, well, way
wow.
to start.
Okay, so Kai's not affected by the pressure at all then. It's a 9 start for Dylan. Dylan's still not quite found the 10 yet, hanging a little low. So I'll see if Kai can open up with a nice 30. And he does.
Yeah.
Brilliant start, just what you want to do. Put that bit of pressure on from the get-go. And an 8 from Dylan, yeah, he didn't look confident on that shot at all. Just tried to save it with the front hand there, but wasn't able to keep it in the 9. So we've got Kai leading 30-26 over Dylan Crowe.
Yeah, early days yet, but we've seen how it's not the perfect ends, it's the ends where things go wrong that have more of an
Yes.
effect on the score.
Yeah, especially with compounds, you know, they can all shoot 30s. They're all capable of 30s. It's the points that we drop. That it's basically reducing that margin as much as we can. Because we know we can throw 10s down, we know that we can shoot 30s. It's just those arrows that aren't exactly where we want them, and it's reducing the amount of points we drop. And trying to do that more so than our opponent can.
Yeah. So Dylan Crowe will shoot first in this second end. 4-point deficit. His focus will be just, I guess, on himself and just try and work on the process.
Yeah, see, we can see on he had sort of, we can see from the previous shot that he had a bit of a line going underneath the 10 there, so he'll be focusing really on just finding that 10, and then once he's found it, he can relax a little bit and know that his sight's in the right place.
Again,
Still
low.
a little, yeah. He's made an adjustment on his sight there because they are consistent, so it's a good move. Another 10 from Kai. He looks extremely comfortable.
He does indeed.
Yeah. It's just steady, plodding along, you know. We've got another left-handed shooter here with Dylan. And like we said before, back-to-back this time.
Back this time, yeah.
His group's really good. He really needs to.
Yeah, he is making adjustments.
Yeah, might need a few more clicks. Bit of a breeze coming through here for Kai. Let's see if he can keep him that gold.
Well, he does stay in the gold.
Just below the 10?
Yeah, it's the first.
First one dropped.
One dropped. Yeah, first point dropped.
He's got that little bit of room for movement here.
And the first 10.
There we go.
For Dylan.
Yeah, he's now level. He's now centre with the 10, so he can relax a little bit, know that he's found it and that he can keep putting them in there. Lovely shot for Kai. Brilliant group as well.
Yeah.
Slightly on the low side as well, but it's not affected him that much. Only that one that managed to sneak out. So that's 59 points for Kai to Dylan's 53. So it's a very comfortable lead.
Yeah.
So he has got that breathing room. You know, if there's a shot in there that he's not particularly happy with, he knows he doesn't need to overstretch himself too much, and as long as he keeps it comfortable, he's got those few points to play with.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that Dylan Crowe's shooting badly. I mean, at 26 or 27, that's kind of on the par with what we've seen from everyone else.
It is, yeah, and he's, you know, in the other matches he would have been...
You've been leading, or at least level.
Yeah, exactly. And it just goes to show it really is a case of who you're against. And some people are more comfortable in some situations and some environments than others are. And what we can see will affect one person we win might not necessarily affect another. And like we've said, with the Gus, they can just time at the right point for the right person. So if say, you know, if Dylan did feel like he was getting pushed a little bit by the wind there, it might just have subsided in time for Kai, and vice versa, you know. But Dylan doesn't look at all comfortable. He looks quite steady there, so it might just be a little bit of movement on the front that was affecting us ours in the previous ends. But you know, he's managed to keep in the 10 there, so he's definitely found his feet.
Yeah, he's nodding his head after that. The first arrow of this third.
It's a long shot.
This is long, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well,
the aim on that was impressive. That was very well held by Kai. Just managed to time it just right in for the lull in the wind before he executed. And it's come back again for Dylan. You can see the he's got some kind of a shoelace or something at the end of his long rod, which, I mean, you will have seen yesterday with some of the recurves, they have that as well, so you can just see the direction of the wind at full draw. But it didn't affect him at all. He found the X and it looks a lot more comfortable.
Ooh, didn't look comfortable there on the release.
No, he didn't. You could tell before the shot had even gone, he knew. So that's a low 6 for Kai. But he's still 2 points ahead.
Yeah.
Nice recovery from Dylan, a 30 there, just what he needed. So he has brought back a significant amount of points there.
Just with that one arrow.
But it's like we said before, you know, with that lead, Kai did have room for that 6.
Yes.
I mean, not ideal. However, he's still in the lead even with that 6 now because he had that really nice 6-point advantage before.
Yeah, he's used all his buffer up almost.
He has, yeah. So he's got no more room now for error. It's 10s or nothing now.
Yeah.
So Dylan did really well to bring that back there. Just goes to show, you know, keep him fighting for every arrow that you've got. I mean, you can see Kai's laughing it off, you know. It's it is what it is. There's no point dwelling on it. You've got to move on and focus on those good shots because there were a lot of really nice shots there. It's easy to get hung up on the bad ones rather than think, you know, you shoot a 59 and a 720 and you start going, oh, God, that 1-9. And then you think, no, hang on a sec. I've just shot 5 really great 10s. Let's focus on those. Yeah. And that's what's important here. It's keeping your mind positive and keeping it where you want it to be. And that's in the 10.
Outdoor conditions are always quite challenging for the archers with the wind.
Just goes to show the difference in the conditions there for Kai. We've gone from 30-29 to then 25 within you know, within minutes.
first on target 1.
Yeah, we had a lot of wind yesterday for the recurve competition, particularly for the women.
Yeah, you tend to see that as the day goes on, the wind does naturally speed up and get that bit stronger. So the men are in a prime position here, you know, if it follows yesterday's trajectory. So that's a 7 for Dylan. Just missed out on the line there. So Kai's got his opening back. He takes it.
Yeah.
It's a really nice X from Kai. Nine from Dylan. Another bit of an opening for Kai here now to extend that lead again. A little long on the hold.
Yeah, well, he's been long before. And
He's managed to keep it
put
in,
it
hasn't
in
he?
the X. 9.
Just save that one there. Yeah, it was a little longer than he'd done previously. You could see at the end of that shot there, he didn't look too impressed, but he managed to keep it within the 9. And it's a low 10 for Dylan. So 26 points. Let's see what Kai can give us here.
Yeah, the 10.
X, lovely.
Yeah.
Yep, so 29 points, and he's gained that lead back. So now back to 4 points ahead going into the last end. So that 2 points before that he was ahead is now doubled. So it's a lot. It's a bit more. He's gone back to that comfortable stage. Not quite the 6 points he had before, but 4 is still a very nice place to be at this point in the match.
Kai has a 4-point lead over Crowe.
Yep, so that's confirmed. 4 points ahead for Kai going into the final 3 hours of this semi-final, quarterfinals even. Before the first semi-finals.
He will be going into the semi-final if he can see this one out.
I think it's looking that way.
Yeah.
We'll see if Kai can keep the momentum growing and finish off this match with a win. Dylan to shoot first again as a trailing archer. X. Right on the spider.
Yeah.
Bit of movement, but he manages to keep it in there. Just managed to miss the gust there. And that's low for Dylan, a 7. And just see, he tried to flick it up with his bow hand there, but wasn't enough to save it. Again, long haul for Kai, coming down to the last 3 seconds.
Oh, wow.
You can definitely see you just give a big sigh there, Kai. That was really well held. And an 8 on the right for Dylan, just missing out on the 9 line.
Well,
so
5 to win. Can he make it a perfect 30?
Let's see.
He can. So a
Brilliant
perfect
finish.
30 finishes for Kai Thomas Prowse.
143 to 134, so that's the highest score of the day so far from Kai.
Yeah. So 140, your brother, Adam.
Yeah.
And 140 from Ravo. A 136 was enough to win for Chris White, but the 143 against 134 is the best of the 4 quarterfinals.
You can see there's quite a consistency there, though. You know, it's the margin between the winners it's neither here nor there. You know, they're all within the same area as each other. So you can see that the standard's not depleting so much as the conditions surrounding the archers. You can see the flag there in the background of the screen blowing away. So it is coming directly from behind the archers currently, but I think on their person it's quite strong, so that will affect their bow hand and then their aiming overall. So that's a confirmed win for Kai Thomas Prow, so he'll be moving on to the semi-finals.
And he will meet Chris White. So Chris White will be, it'll be Chris White against Kai Thomas Prowse in the second of the semi-finals. In the first final, it's Adam Carpenter against Adam Ravenscroft, and that will be coming up very, very shortly. You're going to get nervous now, aren't you?
Maybe. I make no promises. Yeah, it's so much easier with a bow in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the Battle of the Adams now. I mean, these two probably lost count of how many matches they've shot against one another.
Yeah.
So it really is anyone's game.
Now, taking the stage are our athletes for this match.
Revo's won this tournament numerous times, and you know, as we said before, Adam's the reigning champion for 2 consecutive years. So this will really be a fight.
Adam Carpenter. And on target 2, Adam Ravenscroft.
So it's Ravo against Carpo.
That's the one, yep. Not to get confused between Adams here.
So the seeding going into this is basically Adam Carpenter is first seed and Adam Ravenscroft is 5th. So it is the top seed gets to choose, don't they? As to who shoots
Yeah, that's
first.
right. So that's one of the great advantages of being the first seed. You can decide whether or not you want to open the match or if you want to watch your opponent shoot first. There's advantages and disadvantages to both, but you tend to find that archers have their own methods behind it. So that's the next for Adam to open up. Carpenter, that is. And a 10 for Revo.
Just.
Yeah, so I mean, quite a lot of people choose to go first because it means that if it comes to a shoot-off, they can shoot their arrow first, and they know what they can set the tone.
Yeah.
Alternatively, some people like to shoot second because then when it comes to opening the match, they can watch their opponent, they can see where their arrow goes,
Yeah.
and then adjust accordingly. But it does mean then that if it comes to a shoot-off, that if they shoot second, then they have to watch what their opponent shoots first, and they know what they need.
Yeah, yeah.
So it really depends on a individual person's mentality as to which they go for. And this is the same within team round as well. So that's a 29 to open for Adam Carpenter. Revo could be on for a 30 here. And he does.
And he does, yeah.
Really nice way to open. This is more like what these guys are capable of. Yeah, so within team and mixed team, you do also get the same thing. You get the option of shooting first or second. And as a team, some people will discuss and they'll have their own methods behind what they decide on. Ordinarily, me and my teammates, we tend to go for first. I think it's more important as to where you shoot for a shoot-off rather than for the rest of the match. And obviously, if you know who your opponents are and you think this is going to be a close match, that might
Yeah.
be a deciding factor as to where you decide to shoot. If you think, I've got this one in the bag, I don't really need it.
Yeah.
Or if you think, no, if these guys are good, I'm going to need that.
You're going to need that advantage of shooting first if it goes to the shoot-off.
Exactly, yeah. And it's always worth accounting for every possibility because it's anyone's game in these kinds of matches, and shoot-offs are happening more and more.
Yeah.
Big sigh from Rainbow there. A few nerves coming in, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, there's always a bit of pressure shooting a 30 to open as well.
Yeah.
You know, because you've not dropped anything.
Yes, exactly.
So then you're thinking, oh, I don't want to drop another one now.
Do you get the nervous yawn before you go on? Have you ever had nervous yawns?
Yeah. I've had nervous yawns, but I could just be tired, so you never know. Nice strong shot from Adam Carpenter. That's an X.
So you're saying Adam is your brother?
Yes.
And the other Adam is Ravo?
Yes. Yeah, so it's, yeah, I mean, I shoot with these guys all the time, and obviously me and Adam train at home together. We get to shoot head-to-heads against one another, which is great practice for both of us, which, you know, not everyone else has at their own clubs. They might not have any other compounders, or they might not have people that are sort of on the same level as them to be able to give them a good match. And then, of course, Ravo, you know, I've been on the team with him for years, and get on great with all these gents, yeah.
First one dropped.
Can relax a little bit now. He's not on for that perfect score.
Yeah.
There is always that pressure as well when you know you're shooting perfect. There is always the thought of, oh, okay, I could 150 this.
Yeah.
So that's another point drop for Adam Carpenter there. So that's 58 in total. See if Ravo can keep his 1 point lead. And he drops another 9.
Yeah.
So we're all square, 58-58. This is the sort of shooting that these archers are capable of. You know, this is what we expect to see from them. And as we get further into the rounds, the more comfortable people get, the more familiar they get with the finals field, and you tend to see that standard will increase as we move through the matches. So we've got Simon Scott in the box for Ravo, and then on the other target, that's my dad, coaching for Adam. So yeah, like we were saying before, it's a bit of a family affair for us.
Yeah. And will your dad be out there for you?
He will, yes. Yeah, he'll be returning to the stage for me. You know, it's really nice being able to have your coach and your dad be one and the same, because they're always there. You can rely upon them, and you know, some people's coaches don't live near them, so there's not always, you don't have them at hand all the time, and they're not always there at every training session. But my dad's there for every training session I do, so he knows mine and Adam's shots inside out.
Well, it says on his bio that Adam, your brother, his hobby is drumming.
Yeah. Don't get to do as much anymore at the moment. You know, he's getting older, and he's he is a good drummer. Yeah, was in a band when he was in high school, but yeah, I don't get to drum as much now. Archery has taken the driving seat.
It's good to have a hobby that's not
definitely
sport related, because you can't make it your life completely.
Well, and with compound, we don't always have that option. It's not a paid discipline with archery's compound. So if someone does want to shoot full time, they have to rely upon winning money in tournaments. So it is a really difficult commitment. So having those other aspects of your life outside of archery is really important, and to keep yourself focused. And so when you come back to your bow every time, you really want to be there, and you want to be shooting. It's a good group from Adam. He's just sort of on that low left side, just outside the 10. So it's a couple of points dropped, which he can't really afford with the way that Ravo's shooting these 10s. See if he can put another one down, and he does. Yep. So 2 points in it at the moment. Nice quick shot from Adam, just a little low there still, but he's found the 10. So that's 86 points in total for Adam Carpenter. Let's see if Ravo can keep a 2 point lead.
Snatched it.
Open the door back up for Carpo.
Score's tied.
86-86. So, yeah. Adam Carpenter really managed to stay within the game there. Thank you to Ravo's Raver's 8 on that last arrow. Yeah, you could just see he came away from his anchor point, and unfortunately that arrow landed in the 8. I think there's a few nerves here. These, like I said, these two have shot so many matches against each other, and it's a case of they just take turns winning. You know, it's your turn this time, my turn this time. So I think sometimes it's more pressure when you have shot against someone a lot, because you know what they're capable of producing, and vice versa. You know. So we've got 2 ends left to go in this match. Just see Adam checking his fletchings there and his knocks. The last thing you want is a tiny hairline fracture down one of those knocks, because you can't see one of those.
Bit of hilarity going on the
over the tannoy there.
Yeah.
Nice shot from Adam. Yeah, still a little on that low side there, but it's enough to stay in the 10, which is all he needs. It's a 9 low for Ravo. So opening up the opportunity for Adam Carpenter here. Just out on the left. You don't look too impressed with it, but he's giving it a couple of clicks on the side there, as you can see. Another one low one from Ravo. Yeah. So Adam Carpenter's 1 point ahead before this arrow.
Ooh.
Very quick shot. Very quick shot out on the left. He knows what he did there. So let's see if Ravo can take advantage. And he doesn't.
Ooh, he doesn't.
Even further out, a 7 there. So I'm not sure if whatever's going on there is catching, but both of their final arrows. So I don't know if that's a case of them thinking about it's the last arrow. They know the 10 would, do them a lot of favours. But Adam Carpenter was saved there by Ravo's 7, so he's still ahead by 2 points into the last end, which, I mean, we've seen. At the moment, all of our leaders have gone on to win the match. Yeah. But anything's possible, as we've seen with these 2 final arrows of this end here, that any arrow value can happen, and they just really need to fight for every point that they can get. Yeah, that's 7 from Ravo there. It could be the difference. I mean, 2 points back, but he could have been 2 points ahead. Exactly, yeah. So he really needed, if that one was a 10 there, that it could have been much more comfortable. Just a comfortable lead. But it just means that he's got to work a little bit now in this these last 3 arrows. So this match will decide who goes into the gold final and which archer will make the bronze final. So arguably one of the most important matches there is semis. Well, it guarantees you a medal, doesn't it? It does. So, you make the semis and you can breathe a little bit, because either way you're top 4. Yeah. But the case is, which colour are you going for? Yeah. So we've got Ravo shooting first, target number 2. A little breath there before he drew up, just to relax those nerves. Just out on the 9 there, giving another point. He probably needed more, would have wanted more. Nice. Nice shot from Adam, yeah. That's an X. He didn't look happy with it facially, but but the aim was there. The aim was there, and he both arrows stayed within a couple of mils of each other. Wow. It's a 10 from Adam. Apparently he didn't like that 8, and he's now trying to these are what I call angry 10s, they're like, I will shoot a 10. And a 9 out. So it's a 7 to win for Adam Carpenter. Yeah. So at the moment our prediction is going strong. And it's a 10 at the top.
10 to finish, so a perfect 30. And it's 43 plays 139.
So the same as what Kai scored in the previous match.
Yeah.
So the scores are getting higher and higher as we go through. Adam improved on his quarter-final score. There was still a couple of dodgy ones in there that he'll not be happy with. However, the reigning champion is now going to get a chance to defend his title.
Yeah, and you can breathe a sigh.
I can breathe a little bit now, yeah. Okay. Oh, nice hug there from the Adams.
And well done to younger brother there.
I know, yeah. Dad will be chewing his nails off in the background in a minute now. He's got no choice but to watch. Usually if we're shooting just a normal tournament, as soon as it gets to any sort of finals match, my dad was there and then I'll turn around and then all of a sudden he's just disappeared. And someone's like, oh, he's pacing behind the tents. Yeah. So yesterday we had 2 defending winners go and win.
We did, yes.
Will we see the same thing today? That's the question.
You'll be hoping.
Well, I'm slightly biased, but...
Yeah, Penny Healy and Patrick Houston both won the gold after winning last year.
So we could be having a recurring pattern here this year. Oh, we've got the opportunity for one.
We do, we do.
Yep. So next up we have got Chris White and Kai Thomas Prowse.
Well, if the quarterfinals anything to go by, Kai Thomas Prowse is going into this with a slight advantage.
Yeah, point-wise, he scored higher than Chris did in his quarterfinal. But, you know, just like we saw with Raver here, it comes to the semi-final and he brought his A-game. And his standard incredibly increased from his quarterfinals match. So, I mean, we've got the battle of the PSC shooters here. We'll see which one of them comes out on top. But yeah, I think this is going to be a good match here. Kai's looking very comfortable today, and then Chris has got a boatload of experience behind him going into this. So I don't expect to be seeing too many nerves from these guys. You know, Kai's shooting well; there's no reason to be nervous, and Chris is shooting well, and he's got that extra bit of experience going into this. You know, match play is sort of second nature to him.
And he's got that extra bit of width to his arrow.
He does, yes. So get a couple of extra liners in there, which is always nice.
So they're back-to-back.
Yep. Kai is shooting first. He's higher seeded in second place, just behind Adam Carpenter. So he has opted to shoot first. A little long on the hold, but this is long holds are kind of usual for Kai.
Yeah.
So he's not the quickest shot. So if we sort of see him using up the majority of his time, that's kind of expected from him. But it's when there's that little bit of movement on it that you think it's just sort of tipping over his usual shot timing.
We noticed yesterday with Penny Healy in the recurve that she would choose when to draw back on the wind.
Yeah.
So to basically wait, because she's got quite a quick shot.
Yes.
She can afford to do that.
Yes, she can. So with the recurves, you know, their shot timing from drawing to the point of execution is that bit quicker than compound. So we could afford to wait a few seconds, but for us, I mean, it's knowing your shot timing as well. So some people might think, like Kai, for example, the likelihood of him waiting out the wind is not very high. He uses up his time. But some other people, if they're a quick shot, they might think, well, if I come up now, there's no chance of this even being a 10. So I might as well give it a couple of seconds. And that's a perfect 30 from Chris to open up. You can see those fat arrows doing him justice on that right-hand arrow there. It's just cutting the line. And a 27 for Kai. So he'll not be happy with that, considering the sort of ends he was putting down in his quarterfinals.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's come to the semi-finals now, which is kind of a pivotal point in the rounds. So he'll be thinking about the possibility of where he could go from here. So that could be playing on him.
Yeah, well, you've got to try and avoid thinking about the outcome goal.
It's, you know, I always personally, I would work 1 hour at a time.
Yeah.
You know, I can't affect what happens ahead. I can only affect what I'm doing right now, which is that arrow and that shot.
Yeah.
So it's one. And it's even. Don't even think about the end. Don't think about the match. Don't think about the match ahead. Don't even think about the end total. Think about that one arrow.
Yeah.
And the value of that one that you can and what you can produce with that single arrow.
Yeah. Be in the moment.
Exactly.
Live in the moment.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's doing what you know you're capable of and focusing on the shot process and rather than thinking about score. Because it's very easy to get good with your mental maths within this sport.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just trying to revert back to basics and focus on the process rather than the score.
It's not like darts when you actually add up the score.
Yeah, yeah. So with that, you know, it does make a difference. Whereas this, all we're going for is the highest possible.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not like we need a certain number.
No.
It's a case of the more the merrier.
Yeah, yeah. How are you at darts? Do you play darts?
Oh God, no. Definitely not. My sporting talents lie purely within archery. It's a nice time from Kyle. I'll be happy with that one after his 27 in the previous end. Bit of a long hole from Chris. Manages to keep it within the 9.
Yeah, it's the first point dropped.
Yeah, you can sort of just see the point in which the shot began to unravel a little bit and the pressures came off the front and came off the back and came sort of concaved a tiny little bit. Same with Kai. That was quite quick for him.
Yeah.
You can tell within people's shot parameters, and that was just slightly shorter than what he'd usually shoot. Another 9 for Whitey.
So does Kai have a nickname?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the one and only Kai, so
The one and only.
doesn't. Unlike the Adams, we don't need anything to differentiate. That's a 10 to finish for Kai, so it kind of makes up for that 1-8 in there.
28.
So 55 total. So slightly down on the match previously with both the Adams. And again, a long hole from
So
Chris.
Chris and a poor
7 there.
7.
Yeah, you could see his release aid, his backhand coming away from his face, and the pressures were going. This is the thing, when we get hit by the wind, all that power that we've been putting into the shot and all the pressures that we've been trying to equal out subside slightly, and they come away from us, and that's when we lose those shots that go wide. So you could see there on that shot, he just collapsed at the last second.
Yeah.
Faltered slightly, and then it went out into the 7. So Kai's managed to come back from that trailing to
level
bring
pegging,
it equal.
Yeah, level pegging.
Yeah, but we've been seeing a lot of this today. It's been up and down. So people have come from trailing and they've brought it back. So it's all to play for. I mean, these two are really equally matched. I mean, in the current UK rankings, Kai's in 8th place and then Chris is in 11th. So there's barely anything between them.
I will shoot first on target 2.
Kai shooting first. A bit of movement there in the front. Oh, and that arrow, I'm not sure if that was before or after the buzzer, but we're going to continue.
Well, that would be pretty disastrous if it was...
6 from Whitey. Yes, it would, yes. So after the klaxon, that arrow would be null and void.
Yeah.
But it was an 8. We haven't been informed otherwise if it was before or after that buzzer. Recovered well with a 9. That first arrow of Chris's that we saw there was just like his previous arrow on the last end. It was, it just came off the cams there and did not go where he wanted it. He looks a bit confused with that one though. He didn't look too impressed with the 8 as well. But the wind's definitely picked up. We've just seen the standard just drop that little bit in this end.
Yeah.
So that is a 10 just in from Kyle on that left-hand side line there. So 27 points. Just taking a look in the scope there just to see his liner.
Yeah.
Final shot from Chris, and we have a 10.
So
yeah.
27-24. And
3 points.
3-point lead.
So yeah, I think Kai just made that buzzer,
Yeah.
which was, you can sigh a breath of
Yes.
relief now.
Yeah.
That's it's always a bit nerve-wracking, that.
You can see the difference in the diameter of the arrows there.
Yeah, when they're both lined up against each other like that, you
Yeah.
can really tell the difference.
But yeah, it's not really the liners that are settling this. Those couple of
I think if the
wayward
conditions
ones.
were more still and it equals out the playing field a little bit more, those fat arrows would probably do him a lot of favours with the liners. But as it stands at the moment, we have got some windier conditions and they're getting carried a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the thicker they are, the slower that they'll travel, and therefore they're more susceptible to, between the bow and the archer at 50 metres away, there's a lot that can happen in that space, and a lot of variation we can get with direction. So they can be quite easily carried there because they've not got a lot of speed powering them through the shot. So 3 points ahead for Kai with 2 ends left to go.
So this is a crucial end for Chris White.
Yep, fourth end here. He really needs to put in some 10s, make back a couple of points if you can, and then it makes it a lot easier when it comes to those final 3 arrows. Another long hold, and he keeps it in there.
Go.
Yeah,
It's just what he needed.
you could see there was a lot more power going into that shot. He was able to keep the pressure strong.
Yeah.
Lovely X.
Matching it.
Yeah.
The wind may have dropped slightly.
Yeah, you can just see the flags there in the background. They're only fluttering slightly, whereas before they were quite strong. Just under the 10 there. Didn't get the liner. Kai can take advantage of this and possibly gain another point.
Nope.
Nope, a 9 out.
I think Kai would be happy to maintain that 3-point lead.
Yeah, yeah. 3 points is where you want to be. You know, it's comfortable enough, but then you know, there's less chance of someone sneaking up on you. It's a nice finish from Chris.
Finish with a 10 in this end.
Long hold again. Keeps it in the 9.
So a 2-point lead.
Yep. So, you know, 2 points, quite comfortable going into the last end. But as we've seen today, you know, there's a couple of little factors that are sneaking in, and sometimes that 2 points isn't always enough. But so far, we've seen our leading archer in the last end has gone on to win.
Yeah.
So this could follow the same pattern here.
Yeah, Chris will be rowing that
That one
third
6.
end. Yeah.
Especially that 6, you know, that it caught him right off guard. And by that point, there wasn't anything he could do to save it. But you can, you know, if at one point we get to see the faces again, there was, where that 6 was, there was a 7 right next to it. And, and so obviously a couple of them, when they're getting affected by the wind, they're going in the same direction, you know, and, you know, like we're saying with the wind, you tend to push more into it, and being left-handed, Chris's will naturally push towards the right. So Kai's down on his score from his previous match.
Yes, he's got a 143 in his previous match. The best he can do is
140.
a 140.
But with the added pressure and stuff, I mean, it's not unheard of to drop a few points, especially in the semi-finals. There's a lot at stake in this match.
So Chris gets things underway with a 10.
Lovely opening shot. Let's see if Kai can respond.
Can indeed.
Yeah. Really nice shot.
Another 10.
The flow's back. You
Yeah.
can see automatically it's much more comfortable than the arrows we've seen previously from Chris.
Just
Another 10.
Another 10, and that could be that.
So all Chris can do here is a 10 and hope Kai drops one in the 8, which,
Yeah.
I mean, looking at his shot at the moment, highly unlikely.
Oh, he's missed a 9, so
It's an 8 to
an
win.
8 to win it.
Nice quick
And
shot.
finishes with a perfect 30.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that. And I believe that is Kai's, so far it's the furthest he's got through in this tournament before.
Oh, brilliant.
So it's either way he's coming home with a PB for this tournament.
And he's definitely guaranteed a medal now because he will go into the gold medal match. So the worst he can do is silver for
It's a pretty good day, isn't it?
22-year-old. Yeah,
Yeah,
very
pretty good day.
For-
Yes, it'll be the battle of the youngsters in the gold.
It will be. Yes.
This is the thing, you know, with these guys, they're all teammates. So
Yeah.
it's it's kind of unusual, you know, going head to head against someone that you're usually on the same side with.
Yeah. So Chris White will have a very short break before he comes back out and walk straight back on again
Yep.
for the bronze medal match. And it's difficult, that, isn't it? If you
Yeah.
lose that second semi-final, you're straight back out and you're shooting for bronze.
You've not got that time to sort of collect yourself and, you know, sort of find, you know, have a minute to yourself and sort of come to terms with the previous one before you've got to go straight into the next.
Well, yeah, you've got the disappointment of losing, and then straight back out to shoot for a medal.
I mean, looking at the other side of this, I mean, he has got the advantage of he's literally just shot, so his sight's exactly where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to have really changed within the 2 minutes that he walks off and walks back on.
Yeah, he's perfectly warmed
Yep.
up.
Whereas for Revo, having shot the match before, there's been a good 15-20 minutes, so a lot can change in that time,
Yeah.
especially with the direction of the wind and the strength.
More time to kind of get
You
angry.
yeah, and you cool back down again. You know,
Yeah,
it's important to keep your muscles warm. So he's had a few seconds there to, you know, Chris has stayed nice and warm, and he'll go straight back on. His muscles are ready, whereas Adam's had that little bit of time to sort of cool down, but he needs to just try and keep everything going.
So we saw the bracket there of how we are progressed to this bronze medal match.
The bronze is always a good match to watch. You often find that it's essentially a match between winning something and losing.
Yeah.
So quite often you see especially within the sport, scores tend to skyrocket in the bronze medal matches.
Yeah.
But there's more at stake, and so people tend to fight a lot harder for it. Gold, people not relax as such, but there's less to worry about. You know, you're coming home with something either way. It's just a case of which one. But with these guys, you know, they know it's either third or that fourth place.
Yeah. The dreaded fourth
The
place.
dreaded fourth. You know, come all this way, shoot all the matches, and then just fall short of it. It's not always the nicest position to be in, but it does mean that I think we'll see some very close, equally matched shooting in this round from these two gents.
Well, let's hope it goes all the way to a shoot-off.
I'd love to see a shoot-off, I'm not going to lie. It would be really great to see one. Yeah. So we've got Chris White to shoot first. It's a 9 to open up. So actually, Revo is the highest seeded archer here. So he's opted to shoot second.
Right.
So it's the first time we've seen that.
Yeah.
Where the highest seeded has chosen to watch their opponent shoot first. So he might be anticipating, you know, he knows what Chris is capable of. Maybe he's thought, well, if the worst comes to worst and we're in a shoot-off, I want to set the tone.
Yeah.
So it's 2 9s for, oh no, just
No,
in the
it's
10.
In the 10. Just. With
Those nice liners helping him out.
yeah, the big wide fat arrows.
There's another 9 for Adam there. Yeah, just at the point of execution, he faltered a little bit on that shot, did Chris. So they've scored a 9 from here, so it's just touching the line. And an X to finish the end for River. So 28 apiece as it stands now.
It's a good start.
Yeah. I mean, these two arguably are the 2 most experienced shooters at these gents against each other at the moment. They've shot a lot of years and have won a lot of medals in their time, so they know what it is to be on a finals field.
Yeah, they've been shooting since before the gold medalists
We're born.
were born. Yeah.
Which I'm sure they won't like us saying, but
Yeah.
I was collecting some of the information ahead of this event for the program, and I asked that question, and I got some. People weren't too happy.
The first 3 arrows. Adam. Chris White will shoot first on target 2.
Bit of a long hold. Yeah, just low in the 9 there.
They're not happy.
No, he's shaking his head. I think.
Yeah, body language.
Yeah, he just faltered a little bit at the point of execution and dropped that front arm. Same sort of arrow from Ravo as well.
Mm.
Looking a little bit too relaxed on the back of the shot there. It's sort of this is where we get those low arrows, is when we've not quite got the power into
Right.
it. Another 9, just out as well.
Mm.
Not by a lot. These are real, you know, a few, you know, centimetre or 2 here or there is nothing within this. Very quick shot. Managed to save it. They've given it an 8-star.
Yeah, I think with the width of that, well, it's hard to say with the shadow of the other arrow.
Yeah, we
coming
can't quite
across.
see over the top of it either. It's the judge is going to have to take a look over the top side of that arrow there.
No doubting that one though.
Nope, definitely not. That is a very comfortable 10. Possibly an X.
So it's possible, possibly tied.
Yeah, the judge will take a closer look at the that bottom arrow there of Chris's. So you can just see on the screen it's shoved the paper up. However, whether it's cut a line or not, we can't see it because we can't quite get the angle above the arrow, which is what we need to.
We need a magnifying glass.
We do. One from here would be really useful. Right, so I believe that arrow has been scored up. Yes, so we are tied still.
Yeah.
28-28, just like the previous end.
Yes.
Very consistent.
Yeah, yeah.
So you could see the judge there pointed upwards.
Yeah.
So just letting us know here in the scoring tent what they're going to do before, so we're able to make the adjustments on screen for you guys at home. It's also very good because then the archers can pay attention, so they can see from a distance if their arrow's called up or down.
Yeah.
And that's also the job of the coach as well. You know, their job is to make sure that the archer knows where their arrows are going and what they need to do to adjust. So when you know, when these archers are abroad and they're shooting internationally, the people that collect their arrows are their own teammates. So quite often when you have your friend or teammate down there, they'll sort of look back at you and either point up or down to let you know. So if you've got a shoot off, they'll give you a quick insight as to whether or not you're in the clear or not. It's a really nice X from Chris to open this end. 10, I think let's just cut the line. Yeah, they're calling it in. So we're still all square. This is literally arrow for arrow.
Oh, look at that one.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Literally right next to the other one, really snug together. That's what he'll want. Really putting the pressure on here for Revo. And it doesn't get to him.
Yeah.
Literally just on the left-hand side of that X there, just like Chris's.
Are we going to see a perfect 30?
We might see two.
Ooh.
Tried to save it a little bit at the last minute there.
Yeah.
You can see the flags have just picked up in the background there. So they might be experiencing a bit of trouble holding the bow up. Subsided there for Revo. So he managed to get that 30, but Chris just missing out. So Adam will go ahead 1 point in this match, 86 to 85.
Yeah. Well, nothing in it.
No,
Absolutely
we might be getting
nothing
that shoot off.
We may be getting that shoot off.
It'd be really nice to see one today. Managed a few shoot-offs yesterday with the recurves, didn't you?
Yes. Yes.
Some very close shooting. And, you know, especially their conditions that they had, it was really windy for them. So to see some shoot-offs in that sort of conditions is really impressive. You know, it's the sort of thing we see when the conditions are a lot more still, a lot more consistent. So for these archers to be producing some shoot-offs in that wind just goes to show that they were in it to win it the whole time.
Strength and depth.
Yes.
Field, the top 8 in the country.
They've worked all year to be here this weekend. 5 stages across the year, beginning in April, May time, to the last one being in August, I believe it was. There was meant to be 6 stages, but one unfortunately had to be cancelled due to extremely dangerous winds. So it was a very hard decision for the organising committee to make, but definitely the safest option.
Yeah.
So these archers have already done 5 stages of the national tour to be at this finals today.
Just into the 9.
Perfect X.
Perfect 10.
Revo's really holding on to that lead there.
Yeah.
He's not going to let that go without a fight. He really didn't need that. So now Revo might be able to hold on to an even higher advantage.
Yeah, extend that lead.
Nice.
Does.
Just cut the X line at the bottom there. Some very tidy shooting.
So 4-point lead.
Next to finish. That's a nice way to end the end.
Revo making no
Look at
mistake there.
Lovely 3 arrows. What a group.
Superb grouping.
Yeah. So 4 points ahead of Christopher White going into the final end of this bronze medal match to decide who will take the 3rd spot on that podium. Now, this is the sort of shooting we expect from these guys. This is nothing out of the ordinary for them.
It just looks so easy, doesn't it?
This is, you know, when archery's done well, it does look easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like these shots there, they look so clean, so comfortable. And it's often when we see shots that look like they took work that are often the ones where we see the most discrepancy in score.
Yeah.
You know, those shots that look like they're taking effort are usually the ones where there's that bit too much movement going on and are more than likely to not hit the 10. So yeah, the easier it looks, the the closer to the centre we're getting.
Yeah. Well, you work very hard to make it look easy.
There's a lot of hours that go into this sport. It is a game of repetition, so practice is key. It's fundamental, you know. It's it's a sort of sport that relies so heavily on muscle memory, and muscle memory can only be strengthened with practice and
Yeah.
with repetition.
Yeah.
So it is a case of shooting, you know, the same shot over and over and over, and that's what it is. It's trying to replicate that X shot every single arrow.
Yeah.
And it does mean that when we don't, you know, quite often we've seen with these archers where it's clear that they can tell what they've done in order to shoot an arrow that wasn't a 10. And it's those shots that, because we practice so much, we're able to recognise much quicker and are able to adjust accordingly. 9 from Ravo, but he's got that
He's
bit of
got
wiggle
a cushion.
room.
He's
Yeah.
got yeah, comfortable.
So he can relax a little bit
Yeah, it's a
and just
4-point lead
focus on
going
the
into
next.
this.
Very nice. Found the middle again.
Yeah, Chris is doing exactly what he needs to do.
But is it that bit too late?
Well, one stray arrow from Ravo would open the door.
That's a nice 10. So 3 points in it.
Yeah.
Chris, all he can do here is put in a final 10, finish with a 30, and hope for the best. Oh, a bit long on the hold
Yeah.
here. Keeps it in the 9. I
Yeah.
think he did well to keep that one there. So it's just a 7-2 win, the bronze medal for Adam Ravenscroft.
And a 1-4-1 for Chris White is a good score.
Well, he's improved. You
Yeah.
know, he's gotten better as he's gone along,
And
and he did it.
1-4-5, yeah, 1-4-5 to win.
Best score of the day so
Yeah.
far. Ravo will definitely be happy with that one. Another national tour medal he can add to his haul.
And that may well be the best score of the day. We're going into the gold medal match. Anything could happen in that.
Anything can happen. Yeah, it'd be really nice to see the same sort of standard of shooting in that match, and I think with the 2 competitors we've got going into it, that could be the case. Yeah, but Chris really fought for it. He put his best foot forward, and that was the highest score of his from the day, so couldn't have done much more than that.
Yeah. No pressure now.
No pressure. It all comes down to this gold medal match. This is what we've been watching for, to see who'll come home with the title. Will it be Kai Prowse for his first ever win, or will Adam do the hat trick and make this his 3rd in a row? And we shall see within a couple of minutes.
Coming up, the last match of the morning, the Archery National Tour Finals. For the compound match, the speed gold medal match, which determines who wins the gold and who will get the silver. Coming on to the stage are the coaches and our line judge.
So time for the gold medal match here in Nottingham at Woollerton Park. The National Tour Finals. So this is it. 2 archers left, shooting for gold.
2 friends, 2 teammates, and it's anyone's game, quite frankly.
Adam Carpenter.
Our reigning champion, Adam Carpenter. And one of our GB athletes, Kai Prowse on the right there.
So Kai is 22, your brother Adam, just 20 years old.
Yep. Yep,
But,
2 young archers here, but I mean, we've seen some amazing shooting from these guys today. And I expect no less in this gold medal match.
But Adam does have the advantage of being here before, winning before.
Yeah, so, you know, like we said, this is the furthest that Kai's made it before, so this is kind of uncharted territory for him. Adam has won this tournament 2 years in a row. But I suppose that does give him a bit of added pressure, because there's the 3 up for state, you know, the big 3.
Yeah.
So it's a case of just letting that whole factor erase from his head and just focus on the shooting at hand. And Kai here, you know, either way, he's got nothing to lose one way or the other. He's improved. And so whatever he comes away with today, it will be his best performance yet at this event.
Yeah.
So it's a low 10 from Kai, just clipped the line. Nice steady shot from Adam, found the 10. Another 10 from Kai. They're not going to let anything slide today. Nice quick shot, just low. So that's 28 for Adam there. Let's see if Kai can make the 30. Just out left as well. Yeah, both Adam and Kai we should see in a minute. Yeah, both of their areas that were out on the left there, almost in the same place. Kai's just slightly more centralised than Adam's. But yeah, that's a pretty nice way to open the match. 28-29 in Kai's favour.
Judges to have a closer look. Adam Carter is a 10-9-9, 28 points. That's after the first dance of 3 years.
It's early days. What will be going through your head mentally now?
Well, first end is always, for me, first end is always settling down. Finding your feet. These athletes have waited a little bit to get back onto the stage, so like we've said before, conditions might be slightly different for them. So they've got to really hone in and focus and try and find that 10 and then stay there. But yeah, the first end, personally, it's a case of, you know, find my feet, get comfortable, just shake off those first end jitters, and then move into that second end and just get my shot process rolling in my head.
Yeah. And happy with a 28 for your brother there?
Probably not. No, he's far too... archers on a whole, we're all very much perfectionists, and I don't know any other archer that isn't. So unless it's a 30, we're not going to be 100% happy with it, you know, if we're being honest with ourselves. But, you know, he knows that within this sport, it's a case of not getting caught up on arrows past and working on the one at hand, the one that's in your bow, the one that you can actually affect. Because once those other ones are gone, you can do nothing about it. So it's a 10 from Adam to open up this end. See if Kai can respond with another 10.
Ooh, clock's ticking.
Yeah, just slightly over his usual timing.
Yeah.
But managed to get it before the buzzer, so that's all that matters. So we're all square currently. Very nice committed shot there. It's like we said before, you know, you can always tell the shots look easy, they look powerful, and it should just be a case of second nature for the archer. Just slightly lower there. I think he put a bit too much on the front. The front looked a little heavy.
Yeah.
So just dropped slightly low of that 10. Adam's on the left. You could see just at the angle. We had a lovely angle there where you could see the top cam. He leant it on in towards the direction that the arrow was going and trying to steer it back towards the 10, but just fell short. Kai did the same thing. However, his you can see is just sort of snuck in there. So 29-28, bringing us all equal. So Adam's brought that point back. So I think it's going to be a case of back and forth for these two.
Yeah.
Almost matching each other, arrow for arrow. Yeah, it's just really important at this point in the match, when the nerves start to set in, just to, you know, go back to your coach, have a little bit of a chat. And it's not even necessarily about archery, or not even about the shots or the process, because sometimes the best thing is to take your mind away from it.
Right.
And just to talk about absolutely anything. And it'll help really lower that heart rate and sort of bring you back to a centralised place. I mean, quite.
What are we going to have for dinner?
Yeah. This is the sort of thing, you know, like if you ever watch archers from now on, you'll be looking at them and trying to lip read and figuring out what on earth are they talking about. Yeah, because, you know, sometimes if there's a question that you really do have for your coach that is related to the arrow that you just shot, then, you know, that's completely normal. But more often than not, it's just having someone there to talk to and just to center yourself a little bit. Because it's so easy to get hung up in your own head.
Yeah.
And it just brings you back to earth a little bit, just having someone to talk to. And take your mind away from it, and then you can, when it comes to picking up your bow, you can just focus on the shot.
Yeah.
Nice clean shot.
Yeah.
What's next to start for this third end?
you kind of know when they,
Yeah.
you know that it's going to be a 10 before
Yeah.
it even hits the target.
This is the beauty of this discipline within archery, is that you watch someone shoot and you can almost sort of put your money on it just from sat back here, and it just goes to show how accurate these guys are. There is no room for error within this discipline, and every tiny little micro movement does make the difference. So we have got that extra room for error, but it does mean that when we shoot like this, we get that extra accuracy.
Yeah.
So that's why quite often with compounders you see a lot of people, especially within the top 10, that are almost all on the same score.
The only one there to drop out of the 10.
You can see he got too close to that countdown there. So probably a couple of seconds longer than he should have been at full draw. But he probably just got hung up a little bit. The shot probably wasn't quite flowing as well as he would have liked. But managed to keep it. I mean, it's still really close. It's only a couple of centimeters out the 10 there. But it does mean that we're no longer tied.
Yeah, 1 point lead.
2 ends to go. A lot can happen.
Yeah.
This next end is always an interesting one to see where we will be going into the final 3 hours. Because so far the leader in the last end has gone on to win. So we could be seeing this pattern reoccur. See, kind of laughing there, as his coach has said.
And again, the distraction.
Yeah, and it's just, we're doing this because we love it, and it's fun, and this is why we're here. We're here because we want to be on top of that podium.
Yeah.
And more than anything, archery it's what we live and breathe, and if you're not having fun, you're not doing it for the right reasons, you know?
Exactly.
And that's what it is with these guys. They do it because they love it. Very nice shot. You could see with that one, really clean, really strong on the backhand, following through really well. Same for Adam, yep.
Yeah.
You can see when the camera pans to the target, the grouping with the arrow holes really coming together for this match. There's a lot less that are just clear of the 10 there.
It's all gold.
Yep. Same place.
Yeah.
A little high, I'll probably give it a couple of clicks on the site there, just to account for it, because there's nothing worse than shooting a shot that you know is a 10 and then it just missing out.
Yeah.
See if Kai can make the 30. Getting down to the last 3 seconds.
Ooh,
Just before the buzzer. But an 8. So he managed to keep it scoring. However, he won't be happy with the 8.
No.
Opened it up a little bit here for Adam.
Can he capitalise? Yes, he can.
He does.
I think he just...
They've given it a 9-star.
We'll
It's hard to see from here. It's, the angle of the shadow doesn't really help.
Yeah, so it's either a 29 or a 30. And it's going to be...
2 or 3 points.
2 or 3 point lead.
Which is where you want to be. It's really where you want to be in this last end. You know, you can account for a few nerves. You can account for an odd arrow here or there that you think probably should have done a little better, but we'll see what they call that arrow. So the judge seems pretty sure no magnifying glass was used.
No.
So we'll see what...
it's going to be a 2 point lead, I think. No.
Oh, and it's a 10.
It is a 10.
So it must have been closer than it looks from back here. So Adam has gained himself a 3 point lead, 117 out of 120 to Kai's 114 going into the final 3 hours.
Can't lose it from here, can he?
Nope. This is
Can't lose it.
You can't lose it from here. You got 3 points. That's all you need, you know. Just 3 steady shots, and it's what we say into, you know, nothing special. Three comfortable shots, 3 nice shots is all that you need.
Yeah.
Because Kai can shoot 30 here, but it might not be enough.
Yeah.
With that 3-point lead that Adam's got. It gives him that really comfortable cushioning. Bit of a breeze coming through there. See if he can hold it. Keeps it in the 9.
9, yeah.
It didn't quite look as comfortable as the ones that we've seen him shoot previously, so I think he was affected by that bit of wind. See if Adam can keep it in the 10. And he does, just on the line on the right. Almost exactly where that previous liner was. And a 10 from Kai. Nice shooting, yeah.
So Adam has only dropped 3
points.
points.
Oh, wait, hang on, that might be 4. Just as you said that.
Sorry.
They've given it a 9 star, so possibly 3, possibly 4. But he's still staying within that zone that we want to be in. Kai's final shot.
Great.
Just, 10. And Adam only needs an 8 to win.
Yeah.
Oh my God, and he does it.
Oh.
So that was a tiny bit of a punch there, Adam.
Yes.
He really let that, I think his head just overtook a little bit.
Yeah.
However,
one hand on the gold medal there.
God, he's not doing me any favours. Why did he do this to me? Give me a heart attack. Yeah, so Adam's final arrow.
The only red he shoots.
In the last one. So he did catch the trigger there, punch it, which he won't have liked. However, we do sometimes see that happen with shooters on a last arrow when it comes down to a medal. When it comes down to a gold medal, those punches sometimes come out.
Yeah.
The nerves set in, and you tend to your brain takes over a bit too much.
Yeah.
You don't let your body just do what it does. But in this case, his punch shot was enough, I think. Yeah. And he's done it 3rd year in a row. Adam Carpenter is the champion for the National Tour Final 2022.
You must be very proud.
I am very proud of him. I'm not appreciating the mini heart attack at the end. However, I will let him off because he won.
Congratulations, Adam Carpenter is the gold medal winner.
Sigh of relief.
Yeah.
You and me both, mate. Yes, he will be extremely happy with that. There we go.
3 in a row. 3 in a row.
Now I need to look in the old record books. I'm not sure how many compound men have won 3 in a row before. I know people have won it multiple times, but I'm not sure about consecutive. So that will be one to check, because it could be one for the record books, but we will find out and keep an eye out on the social media, and we will let you guys know.
Well, we're going to go and have an interview now, I think, with Adam, and we might just sneak around and say congratulations.
I might have to go and give him a quick hug.
Yeah, while that interview's going along. So we'll take a quick break from commentary, and we'll get Adam into the mixed zone for the interview, and then we'll have the medal ceremony after that. So we'll be back very shortly, but don't go away, because as soon as Adam is out, we're gonna hear from the winner.
You've just won your 3rd title in a row. Where does this victory sit in your
Yeah, it's up there. It's to do this 3 times. I mean, just to win it once, it was just fantastic. Again, amazing. 3 times. I was hoping I was going to do this, but I wasn't expecting 3 times in a row, so I could not be happier right now.
And you've just shot the new weight straps.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I've shot that about 4 times, but 5 times now. Yeah, it's a shooter, put it that way. So I'm the one to do the work now. The bow does it all for you.
And talk us through your matches.
The first one was, like I say, it was quite gusty in the first one. I did struggle, but you keep plodding along. 141 with the match, which not happy with the score, but it is what it is, kind of thing. So a win's a win. Second match, bit more shaky, because that gets you into that gold or to the bronze. But again, overall happy, because the score was a little bit better, but winter conditions were a touch better as well. And the last match, my last arrow was not to be yeah, it wasn't ideal, put it that way, but it got me the match. Kai shot absolutely amazing, like I say, Matt did, and Ravo. So it was a pleasure to shoot against all of them. Like I say, we all love shooting against each other. Yeah, absolutely loved today. So thank you very much.
So time now for the victory ceremony for the compound men here at the National Tour Finals. And leading us out will be Ravo. Adam Ravenscroft, winner of the bronze medal. He won that against Chris White. Mark Briegel and Wendy Stead will be our presenters.
And then we have it, everyone. Our bronze medalist, Adam Ravenscroft.
Yeah, good in the end.
Yeah, he will be happy with the score that he finished on, especially.
145.
Yep, so both him and Adam finished on the same score for their medal matches.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, it's what we expected to see in a medal match. That's the kind of shooting that these guys are more than capable of. But yeah, they did incredibly well today here in some very changeable conditions. So they'll be more than happy with their results here. So.
Well, if it hadn't been for that final 8 from Adam,
Yes.
then it would have been a lot better.
Yeah, and you know, I just said well done to him over there a minute ago, just after his interview, and he did say, he was like, yeah, well, I got the 3, so that's all I'm thinking about, which is good. I'm glad he's not hyperfixating on the 8 too much.
Yeah. It's done. Kai Thomas Prowse, first time on the podium at this competition.
Yeah, this is only his second ever tour final. So to come second at your second one, I mean, he's going to be more than happy with this result. And it's been a really good year for him. He's made the podium at several of our tour stages this year. And to cap it off with the silver medal, he can't ask much more than that.
So Adam Carpenter takes the gold, and you must be very proud of your younger brother.
Immensely proud of him. You know, I know how hard he works and the amount of effort he puts in. So, and I know that this meant a lot. You know, 3 consecutive wins, and it's something that he can hold on to that for a long time and be immensely proud of it. He shot his socks off, bless him.
And at just 20 years old, you know, he's been up against, you know, archers that are, you know, in their 40s in this competition.
Some incredibly decorated and experienced archers, and you know, the gents are really good with each other, and they know they give credit where credit's due, and they will come off and hold their hands up and say, yep, he was the best archer of the day and I'm proud of him. And that's what I love about these guys in this sport, and they really do care for each other and each other's successes.
And a bit of money to
that always helps.
go cover the expenses.
And we see Hoyt on top of the podium, which is what I like to see.
Yeah. So just yeah, congratulations to all the medalists. Adam Carpenter taking the gold for the 3rd time in a row.
Oh, and we're going to get a podium selfie, I think.
Yeah. So there we go, selfies are done, and the men's compound is in the books. So just looking forward to this afternoon. Izzy, you're going to be competing, but you're 4th up, aren't you, in the quarterfinals?
Yes, so my match is the 4th out of 4 quarterfinals. I'll be against the lovely Phoebe Pine. So yeah, I think this afternoon everyone should expect to see some great shooting from all the women out there. We've got 8 of the best coming on, so stick around, and after lunchtime we should see some who will come away with the women's title.
Yeah. So 2 o'clock, things kick off for the women's compound. So yeah, we will join you then. And thank you so much, Izzy, for coming in and doing a commentary there. And
no, anytime. It's been lovely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for all your knowledge. And I think I'm going to be joined by your younger brother, Adam. and he'll get to commentate on your performance.
Oh, I hope he better be nice.
I'm sure he will be. So thank you very much, and tune in at 2 o'clock for the women's compound. We'll see you then.